The new school term begins today, so normalcy returns after the festive breaks. Schools, resumption, and academic excellence in Lagos State is our focus on our conversation today, and it is time to refocus on the academic development of our students. Joining us to provide insights into this discussion is Comrade Olakunle Shulola, the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Teachers branch in Ifakojaye. He will be sharing his perspective on strategies to improve academic performance, address challenges facing educators, and ensure a smooth transition into the new term. Comrade, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Ron.
All right. So school resumes today. So let me just ask, you've been to school this morning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your assessment on the readiness of both the pupils and the teachers this morning?
It was a very exciting moment because after the Christmas and the New Year break, the students were eager to come back to school. The teachers are also prepared to have them back. And as I'm talking to you now, the readiness test for the student is already in progress in school.
So they're opening with a test?
Yes, that is the normal thing we do, just to bring them back.
Are you sure
yes,
remember?
Are they aware?
They are aware.
They are aware.
They are aware. It has been the norms and tradition.
Is it going to be part of their content
Yes,
assessment?
just 5 marks.
Okay.
Or just to awaken
at
them?
least to awaken them and bring them back to school, because on the very first day of resumption like this, many of them stay back at home.
Okay.
So that is one of the
That's
ways by which
true,
government
that's true.
draw them back to school. So presently they are writing English tests all over Lagos State now.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's part of ways of
Is it just
arousing their
English
interest
or other
or
subjects?
not that subject. But majorly from the ministry they will set English and mathematics.
English and math.
Yes, other teachers will now set in their own subject.
So while you're eating your rice and chicken, don't forget.
Yes, there is 5 marks are waiting you already.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now it's a new term, and I want us to look at some of the challenges that teachers will experience and even the students. So you talked about the test. Some students might not be able to remember what has been taught in the past term. So what are some of those challenges that teachers experience at the beginning of a term?
Thank you very much, ma'am. At least the challenges for this period of time is a little bit minimal, because that period is just about 2 weeks of break. Though they have gone to enjoy themselves during the Christmas and the New Year, but as soon as they come back, once they know that once they resume, there is a short test for them. So many of them do get prepared ahead of the class. So these challenges isn't as much as when you have the long vacation. Though despite that, we still have some of them still behaving somehow funny, but through that readiness test, many of them sit up and we're able to get them together and carry on with activities of learning.
Okay, apart from your students and pupils, what about the teachers? You know, how do you get them prepared also for the new term?
Definitely, there is what we call pre-resumption meeting, and that has to come at least 2 or 3 days or a week before the resumption. Like in my own school now, we did it on Friday. So all our records will have been updated, lesson note will have been written. So by Monday or that Friday, your HOD will have to check and mark, telling you that the teachers are already on ground for the student just to resume on Monday.
Okay, apart from the teachers also, what about the infrastructure itself?
I want to commend Lagos State in that aspect. There is what we call the SCRIPT, the School Rehabilitation Program.
The school
rehabilitation program. Yes,
okay.
They are doing a lot. So many schools in Lagos State has been rehabilitated, as I'm talking to you, with many infrastructures, which has been put in place at least for the student to be able to get a conducive environment for learning.
Okay.
In that aspect, Lagos State government is trying, bringing a lot of innovations in terms of building. Like in my own junior school at the Vetland, it's a model.
It's a model.
So it's a model school. So even if you get there, you just think you are in a private school. So these infrastructures are always on ground, thanks to Lagos State government as regards that.
Okay, how about safety and security measures in schools to ensure the safety of students?
So
Safety and security measures in schools to ensure safety.
that aspect has also been taken care of. We have the neighborhood, we have the security men employed by Lagos State government that are in charge of the gate and that see to the affairs of the security in the school. Nobody can just come in without filling a document or a paper before coming into the school. And when you are leaving, you have to sign out that you are leaving the school. So in that aspect, there are security on ground, at least to protect the life and of the student and teachers in school.
Okay, looking at teachers' impact on children now and preparedness for the new term, let's look at your, organization, the NUT, the association. What does the NUT do to ensure that, teachers maintain high standards of teaching in classrooms?
If you look at my state chairman broadcast this morning, because that is the first thing I always do every resumption date, challenging
you
teachers.
Broadcast, the state chairman broadcast?
Yes, to every teachers.
Where and how?
It was released on the WhatsApp platform this morning. WhatsApp platform.
Okay.
So every branch chairman will now send to every platform that has teachers on them.
It would be nice if we had it.
Yes.
So that we can talk about it.
It's really challenging, and it's telling us what the government has done in order to at least encourage teachers to be able to be up and doing in their daily activities. And those are the challenges, those are the charge. Yes, the man used to give every time. Even the branch chairman also do the same thing, just to follow what the state chairman has just done or given to us. So these are the things we do, at least to encourage our teachers. We talk to them, we have a platform, we chat, we talk to them, we encourage them on what to do and what not to do. So this is really helping us and progressing the work.
So bringing it down now to you, do you want to ask?
Yes. I want to follow up to that, because teachers are are quite pivotal to education here in Nigeria and of course Lagos. What are the greatest concerns of teachers, in this profession? Their greatest, as in maybe personal concerns, considering, in order to consider a more what's this word now? For more productivity, yes, amongst teachers. What are their concerns? What are the things that they worry about the most?
It is the profession is not only teaching and earning ends means.
Ends means, yeah.
It is to impact knowledge, to build the future of the country, and we have to do that right from this generation. So our more concern is just to make sure that these students are upright, both in character and academic area of life. So it is not just teaching for say. Character and also putting them into the right channel, so that the children, to prepare them for the future,
can excel in future.
So let me pick you on that. So how are the teachers finding it easy? Because we have the Gen Z generation now. The Gen Z generation now, and there are a lot. We are in a time where morals, values are no longer the call of the day. So how are teachers finding it easy to inculcate these values, these morals in children, especially when they don't want to be corrected, they don't want to be told what to do?
It's a great challenge. Yes, it's a great challenge. Initially, we have been finding it very easy because we are allowed to use cane. But of this,
no more caning.
No more caning.
But do you think the cane used to at least make some impact, impact on those children?
To me, to some extent, at least.
The fear of the cane.
Yes, at least to some extent. But when you look at the other way around, it is not actually encouraging at all. Because during the course of beating, some teachers get annoyance, beat anyhow, and probably that is why, or most reason why those things are being eliminated from schools.
Yes.
So eliminating that from school has really caused a lot of havoc. And the parents are not really helping matters.
So what are the alternatives now?
The alternative is punishment. And when you punish now at the same time, you deny them of entering class when you punish. And academically, they are affected. So we normally use a way. Either you ask them to sit down, to write maybe their note in the class while the teaching is going on, or ask them to kneel down at the back of the class. It's a challenge. Of recent, it is not all that easy to really correct them. Because like I said, parents at times do contribute. Any slight mistake on the part of the teacher and the parent, instead of the parent to come down to school and lay their complaint. All they do is to call the ministry straight that this has done this, this has done this, this has done that, which is a serious.
So that means there's somewhat of a communication gap between the school and parents, and
there is a parent forum in schools.
Yes,
that
was what I was going to that. What is there a parent
some
forum
parents are
in
just so
schools,
hardy.
and what are they doing about
Yeah,
this?
some parents are just so hardy. They just don't want to follow the due process and follow the normal protocol. Once they have any slight challenges like this on their child, all they do is to call the district or to call the ministry directly that this is happening in schools. And these are things we need to cope and let us sit down and realize that these children are put in our care between so
And
hours.
you know best
And
for them.
there are ways by which you can do things to correct them of what they do.
Because you are the
But
professionals.
some parents are not ready to listen to you. They're not ready to listen to you.
Wow.
So there are times you see them using phone in class. When you collect, when you told them not to use it, it becomes another thing entirely.
And then they will go home, and the parents will get angry.
Whatever they told them is what they believe in.
Is it not wrong?
It's a very wrong idea.
Is it not wrong that even the student is even bringing the phone to school?
They have been warned on so many occasions not to bring phone to schools. You still have them bringing it. Some parents will say, I was going to ask him to bring it because I want to call him to do this thing for me after the school hours. I want to do this. And whereas they will bring this phone outside in the class, disturbing the activities of the classrooms.
Okay, so now
So these are challenges.
This example that you have just cited can be very annoying on part of the teacher.
Yes.
And you're not allowed to use the cane.
Reprimand them, yeah.
And so my question is, as the chairman for Ifakoja, are there ways where you train your teachers on how to handle these kind of situations professionally so they don't escalate into something else?
Thank you. These are things we do occasionally. Thank God, the developing technology that has afforded us of talking to each other at the same time. Through the WhatsApp, there are times we call a meeting to advise teachers. If anything happens, let us use the normal channel to resolve any issue. Don't take the law into your hand, because once you do, and it's something boomerang, it will be a problem for you and also the union as well. Because in anything that happens to a teacher, the union will not relent on it. We always follow the course and fight the course to the point of getting a result. So it is a continuous way of talking to them, advising them always on what to do, when to do it, and how to do things in a normal way.
Okay, I want to look at community interaction and, of course, communication. What role can the community now play in, coming into or wading into the kind of situation that you mentioned, earlier? Like, we have community leaders, wading into such situations. What role do they play in all of this? Especially for a parent who just goes and calls the ministry, I find it really absurd. I'm hearing it for the first time.
There was a particular time the government encourages community participation in the principal of schools as a body, inviting the ballers, inviting the chiefs in that community. So they form a forum where the activities of schools are discussed, the interaction within the community are discussed among this forum. So that is in place as well.
So what do you get to achieve from such meetings?
One, to minimize the truancy of the student. When the student leave the school, they are found within that vicinity of that area.
Roaming about.
Yes, roaming about. So the ballers, whoever that is involved, normally come down to school or drive those students back into the school premises. So that is one of the ways of trying curbing them to roam about. Once they know that they are outside, that place is not safe to them, many of them prefer to stay in school, to stay inside the school premises.
So I want to talk about parental involvement. Now, you've raised the point about how some parents, report the school to the ministry. So, what is your advice to parents who are still doing this, and how can parents better help you as an educator do your job better?
Yes, I wonder at times, because many of the parents that we're talking about now are not brought up the way they are bringing their own child up now. Because many of them attended schools in those days and they know how things are done then. So the advice we give to them always is that once you have put in these children into your care, definitely the teachers are with them between 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the evening. And they are there to gain one or two things in terms of academic and character. So if anything happens between the child and the teacher, there are ways by which this thing can be resolved without escalating into any negative issues. The principal of the school is there. You can come down to the school and lay your complaint. Then the issue is resolved amicably. Instead of taking law into your hand, you bringing in police, you reporting to the ministry, this and that. So all these things about problem and escalate whatever is on ground.
Okay, let's look at now students' development. You said children, they are resuming, the school, the new term with tests.
Yes, readiness tests.
So how can schools now balance, academic activities and, of course, extra curricular activities in order to have an all-round balance in learning?
Thank you very much for that very particular question. Lagos State is a center of excellence. In our curriculum, just last term, every school had their own entire sport, which is mandatory and compulsory. And every Wednesday in schools, right from 1 o'clock, we have extra curricular activities. From this time now, the closing time has been extended to 3 o'clock.
Why?
From 2 to 3. Okay. In order to cater for these extracurricular activities. Like on Tuesday now, they said reading culture. On Wednesday, you have on Monday, reading culture. On Tuesday, you have indoor games. Bring Scrabbles, Ludo, this and that. On Wednesdays, you have all these uniform societies, Girls Guild, Boy Scouts. So every student belongs to one area or what or the other. So by doing this, it encourages the student in these extracurricular activities.
Okay. So talking on students' development, in Ifakojaye, how would you rate, the performance of students in that axis, and how well are they doing?
In the last 5 years, if you look at the performance of a student in national exam in Lagos State, it is very encouraging, except that of 2020. Because after that pandemic period, that was when Lagos State had about 40% in the WAEC exam. After that, I think the following year it was 78%. In the year after, 76%. Then just this last year, it's about 73.13%. To tell you that the academic performance of a student is very high and very good in Lagos State. And that has to be attributed to the contribution of the government in so many areas. The Ministry of Education is in charge of drawing the curriculum, implementing the curriculum. There is a body that is called the Quality Assurance that sees to the affairs of teachers. We have the school support unit that also monitor the activities of academic performance.
Sorry to cut in here. You are talking about the curriculum. How often is this curriculum, reviewed?
Maybe every 5 years, I think.
Okay.
Maybe every 5 years.
Every 5 years?
Yes, every 5 years, I think. Yeah, every 5 years.
Okay.
Yes, every 5 years, I think. So it's not something that is stagnant for life.
Okay.
So they review it every time to suit the present situation. Yes.
Okay.
I want to go back to the PTA, Parent Teachers. Is it called PTA now? Forum, Parent Teachers Forum?
Parent Forum. PF, okay. Parent Forum.
In public schools.
Yes.
I know in private schools is a thing, parents attend, but in public schools, how is the turnout like? Is it encouraging? Because I believe that when you have a lot of parents come together, the school can share the vision, the school can share information, to the parents to also help them have a better relationship in bringing up the children. So do you have a lot of parents coming out to attend the forum?
Let me say it's a little bit encouraging, because the principals are not even relenting. In our own days, our parent forum is always on Saturdays, but more of Lagos State schools, once they want to have it, it is mostly on Thursdays. That Thursdays, the market women will stay at home. So between 8 o'clock and 10 in the morning, at least the turnout is encouraging, because in some schools where your parents do not show up, at least the second day or the third day, you'll be punished for that.
You punish the students?
Yes, maybe because most of them will not deliver the message at all. Some parents will say they've not heard of anything about it. So by the time you try to just bring that idea, if you don't bring your parents, you'll be punished for not doing this. And it is not in all cases.
Sorry, what's
Just
the means of communicating this?
one, there is a
meetings to parents.
there is a circular, a
Okay,
written circular through the word to the children, and there is also a platform for the
Okay.
parent forum where they are informed of the meeting. So they don't only use that with that circular as well. So every parent get aware that there's going to be a parent forum's meeting.
Because
the turnout is at this is encouraging.
Because of these days of technology, that if there's like a data for a parent, you can just send this messages straight to them instead of going through their words. And this also brings the question of, what's increasing access to technology. Sorry. How can Lagos schools use digital tools? You're still talking about technology to improve their learning outcomes. I know Lagos State is big on technology.
They are coming up with that. I mentioned the school when I came in now. That's the junior school. The board they have in that school, they are interactive.
Okay. Your school, Vetland,
yes, it's interactive board. And if you can get more of this in so many schools, at least learning through technology way or form will be highly more encouraging. So
that's just for, I think that's just for, we're talking about technology, that's just for academics. What about other aspects of education, concerning Lagos State schools?
Like what and what, ma'am? Okay,
you've talked about the Vetland school being a model school that has this interactive board, and we've also talked about, using technology to pass information.
Yes,
so how much should the state government do in ensuring that, the schools' education in Lagos State, aside academic, is fully digital?
It's fully
digitalized. It will go a long way.
It's a long way because it involves a lot of money, and that is why the private sector is encouraged at least.
So there is a collaboration.
Yes, there is a collaboration between the public and private schools. At least very soon we'll get there. I know government is seriously working on it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask what mechanisms you have in place to monitor the academic performance of students in your school. The mechanisms you use in monitoring the performance of students. When you see that a student is not doing well, how do you help that student, become better in academics?
Well, there is a section in school that is the counseling section. Teachers are always employed in that area or that aspect. So once we notice that a student is not really doing well, such students at times are referred to the principal. Then we have the mentor and the mentee. Some students are assigned to some teachers. Like in my own school, 5 students of SS3 are assigned to me. So maybe once or twice in a week, we meet to look at what are the challenges you are having. What are the ways out by which these challenges can be resolved. So these are some of the mechanisms some schools uses to really get to know if a student is having one challenge or the other in any area of academic.
So how do you rate the performance of students in public schools and of course private? Yes, how do you rate their performance?
For me, not because I teach in public school.
Of course, you'll be a bit biased though. You'll be a bit biased though.
Yes, not because I teach in public school. I believe so much in a public school standard.
Why?
Yes. Private schools are also good, but a lot of mushrooms private schools are around the corner that you cannot just... But the standard you have in some of the private schools is okay, and likewise what we have in public school. So for me, I will rate the public school better and higher than that of private school, because the public school has more qualified teachers than what you have in private schools. If you are not a professional, there is no way you can be engaged in public school. But some so-called private schools do employ school SAT, do employ somebody who is not a professional in that aspect of that field. Only very few of those private schools are up to standard.
Okay, for the ones that are up to standard, what can the public schools now learn from them?
Maybe in terms of this technology wise you have spoken about,
Okay.
you know, it is individual own. Many of them are highly equipped
Advanced, right.
with all these technologies. So if there could be a collaboration, probably bringing students from your own area to come down here to learn one or two things about that or such. But I'm telling you, at least some private schools are better off.
Public schools, rather.
I mean some private
Private schools,
yes,
okay.
are doing very
well.
fine.
Okay.
Are doing
So I'll
very
take you
fine.
back to my question that I asked earlier. We're talking about academic excellence in Lagos State when I was asking about how you rate the performances of students. So if a parent has a child who is not doing well academically, what are the things that the parent should do, or what are the things that a parent should look out for to know that the child is having challenge in a particular subject?
If we actually follow the principle of education, you know, we have junior school and senior school. And the, what do you call it, the academic, you have a 6334 system of education. It is not every child that is good academically. And that is why Lagos State government is encouraging or building technical schools all over area. That if a student is not good academically, the parent can be advised to take such a side to a technical school where they can learn. Yes. We have so many of them in Lagos State. One is at Gidimbi here, one is at Ikoton, that are fully equipped with an instrument that can be used to teach all these students. So it is not mandatory that every student must be good in an academic area. There are some who are good in maybe doing something of using their hand to make things that are better off.
So have you come across students in your school who are not doing well academically and you've had to advise their parents?
Of course, yes, of course.
And did they take the advice?
Yes, of course. And some yielded. Some took their children to technical schools there, and they are doing very fine.
So if you could recommend one major change to Lagos State education system, what would it be? Or at the perfect?
It's perfect, but they can still keep on improving on what they have on ground.
Okay.
We can still improve. You can still be getting improvement in what we have on ground.
You know, Lagos State government is big on no child is left behind.
Yes.
Yes, you know, particularly in underdeserved areas. You know, what more can still be done, you know, to ensure that this is totally eradicated? Because, you know, we still see some children, you know, here and there who are meant to be in school, and you still see them, you know, hawking. And I begin to wonder, no child is left behind. What's going on?
You know,
What can be done
in most
about
cases, it has to be the ignorance of some parents. And that is why government make advertisement day in, day out. Right from your preschool, it is free of charge. Initially in those public schools, you don't have crèche, you don't have pre-nursery, but all those things are available there now. There is a crèche, there is the pre-nursery, there is the nursery class. So telling you that it is free of charge. It is free of charge. So in most cases, ignorance is mostly affecting most of these parents that you still see that still put their children on the street. And it's a law in Lagos State. That if those children are being caught, the parent will be arrested. So I don't think they are really following that to the letter, because if they are actually doing that, at least the number of children on street would drastically be reduced.
So one of the ways that the Lagos State government has, you know, also improved the quality of education in the state is through the Eco-Excel. So
Yes.
how would you rate its performance since its inception?
I would say it is very, very, very excellent. When I was the deputy chairman, some years, that was when that Eco-Excel was brought in. We were asked to move to various schools and monitor the activities. Then I know the future of education in Lagos State is very bright. Very, very bright, because the method in which they teach at a particular time, the old schools in Lagos State take the same subject at the same time through this Eco-Excel. So it means their teaching is what? Uniform all around. So there is no child or there is no school that will be telling you that they are lagging behind or there is nothing on ground for them to use. These things are provided by the government to each of these teachers. And once it has or develop any problem, instantly they change for them. So in that aspect, in that area, Lagos State has a very bright future.
Okay, I want to talk about teacher recruitment and, of course, quality of teachers. You know, how is the recruitment of qualified teachers being handled, you know, to meet the demands of growing student populations?
It is very encouraging. It is very encouraging because there is no particular time in the year the government don't recruit. Just last year, a series of recruitment took place because as many teachers are retiring, they are bringing in people to replace them. But the recruitment, as at present, does not really match the number of students we have. We have in school. But the government is trying all their best effort to bring in more teachers, so as to be able to reduce the problem of teachers not adequate in schools.
Okay, I have a personal question to ask. Okay. Is Lagos State also suffering, or the teaching profession suffering this Japa syndrome?
It's everywhere. It is everywhere. It is everywhere. It is everywhere.
So the Japa syndrome is also affecting the teaching profession.
It's affecting teaching profession. It's everywhere.
What subject do you teach? What subjects do you teach?
Geography.
Geography.
Yes.
It's not meant for people like me.
Why?
I'm as well a maths teacher.
Yeah, also.
I'm as well a maths teacher.
Let's talk about maths then.
Yes.
When I was in school, I didn't like maths, and many students, today do not even like maths. What is it about maths that we don't like?
There is nothing so special about it. It is just the importance that has been attached to that subject. I used to tell my students, it's the simplest subject on earth.
Don't say that too.
Yeah, I'm telling you the fact.
Don't say
and
that.
that is how I taught many students. Many students that I came across. That is the notion I always say to them, that mathematics is the simplest subject you can pass.
Why do you keep saying this?
I say it because 2 + 2 anywhere is 4. Take it to anywhere. But when you say, what is your name? That can be answered in 3 places. I can say my name is, I can say I am. I can just mention my name. Do you understand? So those 3 answers, the examiner will not decide, okay, this one is the best. I am is the best, or my name is the best. But when you say 2 + 2, take it to anywhere, it is 4. There is no other mark than that 4.
So why do students now find mathematics
they are
so difficult?
They are now picking up gradually on it.
Okay. Is it because of the new
the
style of teachers or the teachers? Yes.
In those days, I would tell you that it was my own maths teacher that hardened me to make me to develop interest in mathematics.
So what did you do?
That was a time I misbehaved in class. Yes. So instead of this man to punish me, all he just was ask me, once he comes in, he will ask me to go out. Once he comes in, he wants me to go out. And I said, what is the problem with this man? I confronted him one day and I said, okay, come and sit down. So each time this man comes to class and asks a question, that question is coming back to me. Once I get the question, every other student that has missed it is safe. But once I missed it, all other students they are in trouble. So I decided to sit on my own, take that textbook then, hard clerk, sit down, finish everything there. So once the man is in class, I'm 100% ready for him. So when he comes with his question, I will just go there and solve it. So it's part of things we have. So the students of days, they are not ready to face challenges. That is, they are just too lackadaisical in most things they do. But once they are being encouraged, once you keep on telling them that this thing you think it is difficult is very simple. Mathematics has a way, has a format in WAEC exam. There are some questions that are standby. Every year they will come out. So once you have mastered those topics, I don't think you have any problem in that area. It is just a mental alertness, just to arouse your brain and develop the way you think. Nothing more.
2 + 2 will always be 4.
Yeah. And this will lead me to my next question. What advice do you have for young people, students today? Like you said, they do not want to face challenges. Everybody just wants a smooth life. So what advice do you have for them? You see them every day. You relate with them.
We keep on encouraging them. We keep on talking to them. And let them realize that life is so simple. It now depends on how you take it. My own children, that's the nature of advice I give to them at home. But by the time you are too harsh on them, they decide to run away from you. Once you punish them a little bit, you draw them nearer and let them realize the reason. Yes, let them realize the reason why you have done this to them. So you just need to keep on encouraging them, and that they should not. The society is somehow polluted that if you are not very careful, you'll be carried away. You'll be carried away. So advise them. I'm not saying don't socialize, but at the same time, use your senses when you are doing some things. So don't just see things. People are doing this and you want to join. Ask yourself, why are they doing this thing? Do I need to do this? And if you are not clear about it, you can put it across to somebody. I'm seeing people doing this. I want to do it. Is it advisable? Then from there, you can be able to pick one or two things. That is just.
So it is clear that, the journey to academic excellence here in Lagos and, of course, Nigeria as a whole requires a collective effort, parents, teachers,
yes,
the government, the community,
and the children themselves.
And the children themselves, have a role to play.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Comrade Olakunle Sholola. He's the NUT, Nigerian Union of Teachers, branch chairman in Ifako-Ijaya, and he's been shedding light on schools resumption and academic excellence here in Lagos State. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
The program continues after this break.